Hi there, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I did these nails. They are 3D chrome nails with an ombre going on as well. And I think they look really cool. I've found them to be just like really stunning. I've gotten a lot of compliments on them, so I thought I should definitely share them. So there's definitely a couple of parts in this video, a couple of different techniques, which I think is fun. There's the 3D element, there's the chrome element, and then there's what we're starting with, which is an ombre. So you'll see that I'm starting off, as I always do, with luminary gel on my nails, and I'll link in the cards here if you're interested in seeing how I infill my luminary gel and how I got to this point basically in my manicure. You can check out that video. It explains hopefully well what sort of maintenance I do on my nails to get to this point before I'm putting on color here. But yes, I am just going ahead and I'm actually really taking my time. This is sped up, if you can believe it, because honestly it looks really slow even sped up. But I'm taking my time, trying to map out the cuticle area and getting a nice even coat of the blue that's going halfway down the nail. And now I'm taking this green, and without cross-contaminating my two polishes, I don't want to get a bunch of blue in my green polish. I'm sort of just pushing the green polish up toward the center line of the nail, and it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be doing a lot of blending. So basically I'm just trying to get as little space in between the two as possible. And I'm using these two polishes from Gellyfit. These are from I think it's the Bright Rainbow collection. This sounds ridiculous, but I did buy these by accident. I'll explain in a second. But first, you'll see here that I'm taking a little sponge. These are sponges from a Japanese brand, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. I think I haven't used more of like the makeup blender, foundation applicator. I don't know what those things are called. The things that presumably some people use to apply their foundation. I feel like they haven't been used for that in a long time, but the little disposable white triangle sponges, those I think might give a better finish than these. The ones that I'm using, they're a little bit coarser and they have a little bit of like a looser texture, as opposed to a more dense, those like white foamy dense sponges. So it did leave a little bit of texture, and yeah, I think I might try the next time I do an ombre, maybe I will get some of those makeup applicators and give that a shot. I do think these work okay though. Like I'm into like using what you have and this does work okay. It just means that you need to use a more leveling top coat and maybe use another, like one more layer than you might have otherwise. So yeah, it's something, I wouldn't repurchase these little blue sponges that I'm using, but I also think that, they work well enough. I can make do with them. So you'll see that basically, I don't know how much to explain here, but you're just tapping the brush, nope, not the brush, the sponge over the top of the middle part of the nail. And you're slowly kind of working the sponge up a little bit and then down a little bit so that you're blending those two middle colors into a gradient from the blue to the green with a little bit of a mixed effect in the middle. Really with ombres, you just keep going back and perfecting, I feel like. And it's up to you. I wish I could remember who said this, but there was a nail tech somewhere who said like, everyone's different with their ombres. Some people are done sooner than others. And I thought that was like a really interesting thing to point out. Like you can keep perfecting, or you can say, you know what, I'm cool with this. And I don't know where I fall on that spectrum. But yeah, it's up to you how much you really want to perfect your ombre. And I think it's also one of those things you just sort of have to get a feel for yourself as you're doing it, to see kind of how you prefer to ombre. There's obviously a bunch of different methods out there. You can use an ombre brush, you can use a striping brush, you can apply different layers of sheer polish. Anyway, so I did a full cure on that first layer of ombre, and now I decided to go in with a second coat, a second layer of ombre. So I'm doing the same thing I did on the first layer, just applying half of a nail of green and half of a nail of blue, and then going in and kind of just bopping over it with a sponge. And you'll see the first time around, I actually did my middle 3 nails first. And then I did my pinky later because I just didn't want any product running into the pinky, but now I know I can work a little bit faster. And so I have, I've included the pinky at the same time. But yes, so basically just running over, you'll see that I also had a little bit more product than I wanted on the sponge. So I just took it and kind of tapped it off onto the dental bib that I am working on top of here. So keep in mind that you can do that if you're feeling like your sponge is a little too saturated. I will say though that like this is a very forgiving look with the ombre because you're going to be putting chrome on it. That does a lot to just perfect any little lumps and bumps. Well, I won't say lumps and bumps actually, but it perfects the gradation. Gradation? I don't know if that's a word. The gradient. You won't see like any harsh lines of transition so much as you would if you just put top coat on from here when you're adding a chrome. So anyway, I'm going in with another full cure, and then we're going to start the 3D process. So this gel is not made for this, okay? This is a rhinestone glue, but you know what? It's the only little squeezy tube gel that I have. So I'm using it, and I will say that I'm a week in now as I'm recording this voiceover, and nothing weird has happened with these. The gel glue has worked fine. So, you know, if you have this at home, there are things that work better for this or that are maybe made for this. I think it's called like the Chew It gel. It's a Korean 3D gel that I know is made for this sort of thing. So there are definitely ones that are made for like exactly this purpose, but I know a lot of people have rhinestone glue around. So if you're like me, feel free to try that out as long as you're curing it, you know, using the instructions that are on the gel you're using. So yeah, you'll see that I'm basically just doing little squiggles. And this is one of those things that like, although it is like very simple in a way, I do think that you don't want to space out too much. You want to think about how you're composing the squiggles. I feel like I say this every time I do a look like this, but well, every time I do a look like this, often. You don't want like perfectly symmetrical or samey lines here, but you also don't want them to be like wildly different on every nail. So you want to strike the balance between creating something different on each nail, but also like, you know, having some continuity there. So you'll see that I'm just squeezing this gel out, and it's really actually very difficult to squeeze out. And also I'm working on my non-dominant hand, so I'm using my left hand to squeeze it out. So it's not necessarily coming out easy, but that's okay. Basically, you just go really slow, and you can kind of just basically just squeeze out like a little glob and slowly drag it over the nail. This might be really obvious, but and don't break contact with the little swirl of gel that you're making, and just sort of float it into place. Anyway, I flash cured in between each of those, as you will have seen, just to make sure that nothing went anywhere. And now I'm taking a no wipe top coat, and I'm really going to be scrubbing it into the nail. So basically the goal with this is to not let this no wipe top coat eliminate the cool wavy texture you just made. Of course, that's kind of the whole point of what we just did. But you also want the top gel to cover every part of the nail at this point. So that includes the rhinestone glue texture that we've made, as well as the ombre. And you'll see that basically I'm like just using this dry brush to really scrub in the product. And now I went ahead and flash cured that, or no, I fully cured that, flash cured or fully cured, I will have put on the screen, that pointer nail. And now I'm going in and actually filing down. When I used the rhinestone glue, I had like a little sticky outy bit that I needed to file down. So I went in and filed that down. And now I'm going to do the rest of the nails. So again, just really scrubbing in that no wipe top gel. This one's from Young Nails. I've used it on this channel before. What I will say is that I think if I were to do this again, I would have actually used this no wipe top gel after I was done ombreing and before I put on the rhinestone glue. Just because I would have liked to have created a nice smooth surface on that ombre instead of having to scrape in the top gel like this. I probably would have done the no wipe top gel and then the texture and then another little bit of the no wipe top gel and then the chrome. But, you know, you live and you learn. So just something to keep in mind if you're recreating this. Anyway, now I'm taking a chrome, and this chrome has like a green shift to it, which I thought would be perfect. You can kind of see as it gets on my finger there that it has a green shift to it. So it really blends the blue and the green together perfectly. And you can see that it almost looks like when this chrome is applied that you almost kind of can't see the ombre underneath, and it just sort of emphasizes the shift of the chrome, which I thought was really cool. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about or if you agree, because to me, having the shift on the chrome be green makes that blue part almost just look like part of the chrome in a way. I don't know, but I really liked the way these turned out. I really did. Anyway, so I'm going in. Basically, if you are not familiar, this is like an iridescent chrome powder, and I'm using a little eyeshadow applicator and dipping it into the powder. And then the way I do it is I kind of pat the chrome powder around first, as you can see there, and then I start, once I have like kind of an even coating, I start rubbing it all in. And you're really taking your time to make sure you're catching all the little areas of the texture on the nail. Because yeah, with chrome, like you kind of have to make sure you're like double, triple checking your work, or else once you top coat and you're all done, sometimes if you have a little patch, it's like, whoops, can't fix that. It's kind of hard to see because everything's so shiny, and I don't know, it's just double, triple check. But yes, I'm going in and just perfecting each of these nails, and why am I so obsessed with the way these look? Right after they were done, I have this thing that happens to me apparently without fail, where I don't like them. I don't like my nails right after I'm done with them, and then in about 24 hours I'm obsessed, and this is how I feel about these nails. I think they look beautiful. Oh, peep, peep. Anyway, so I'm brushing off any of the excess chrome powder, and you do have to be really thorough with that, or else you'll get little bits of glitter in your polish. And now I'm taking a file, and this is something that I've seen recommended before, but it's basically like you're going to be capping the edges of your nails, and you need to file down the edges so that basically, because the chrome gel doesn't want to stick to chrome, so if you leave a little bit of like raw like gel basically around the edges, the parts where you've filed away the chrome a little bit, just along the edges, it gives the gel something to adhere to when it cures the top gel that we're going to put on next. So yeah, that's one of the ways to prevent chrome from chipping or lifting. And I have had a little bit of chipping actually. Weirdly, it really blends in because I'm a week in now. It's nothing major, but I haven't had anything like peeling off in sheets. Sometimes that happens with chrome where your whole top coat will just peel off or the chrome will just peel off entirely. I've had little flakes and more so on the raised parts. Anyway, after I thoroughly, again, just brushed off the nail, you don't want to use any like alcohol or acetone to cleanse the nail before the top coat because that will take off the chrome. You just want to use a light, fluffy brush. You'll see that I'm going in with top coat now. And I'm really taking my time. Again, you have to make sure that you're getting every little bit with the top coat, or else once you cleanse off the sticky layer after curing the top coat, any chrome that hasn't been covered in top coat will get rubbed off pretty much immediately, and you'll see if you've missed any spots. So really take your time with chrome to make sure that you're hitting all the little parts that you want to be buffing the chrome into, and all the little parts that you want to be capping the chrome into. That doesn't make sense. Just make sure your top coat looks good. Anyway, full cure, and now I am using my surface cleanser to remove the sticky layer. Oh my gosh, look at them glow. They're beautiful. What? Do you love these? Would you wear these? I don't know. I really like them. Let's go outside to my porch. Here we are on my porch. I think this is a few days after I did these. And yeah, I think they look beautiful. What do you think? Do you like these? Thank you so much for watching. I hope if you enjoyed this video that you will like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate you being here. If you've watched till the end, that's amazing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.